I hold an MBA, MS in finance, speak three languages. I brought it to the business. I would say brought in probably the business in business where I work. A fourth year associate currently. I do specialize in the VC private M&A space. What is my USP? Can you help with it? Okay, so yeah, so an MBA is good. So you have an MBA in finance. That's great. And you do VC and private M&A. Okay, so I think the MBA in finance and so forth is good. I know, yeah, it's a very good thing to have. I know a guy that was a partner at Goldman Sachs when they had their IPO and made a lot of money. And it was a similar type of thing. He went to Harvard Law School and also Harvard Business School and before working at Goldman. It's just interesting. This is having an MBA and is a very good thing for corporate lawyers. And it's something that law firms, I actually place people every year that are attorneys that went in and got a MBA and want to come back. And it's funny because they tend to have the highest salaries of people graduating from the MBA programs when they go back to law firm, because they might have left from the third or fourth year and then they get their MBA and they go back as fourth or fifth year associates. And that's very funny. So it's for a corporate attorney, getting an MBA can often be a great thing. It can also help you understand businesses better. So you do VC and private M&A. So this is how you get a USP, and this is how you start defining yourself. You find this of your specialty of the M&A you do, type of M&A or VC work, meaning a certain type of company and a certain type of deal. What does that mean? So that means that it could be a size company needing a certain type of transaction, something like that. So you figure out like what it is that you did that makes you very successful. So I was at a dinner, I don't know, but 6 weeks ago, and there was a partner there that has a 7 million guaranteed base firm. This is the kind of money you can make, by the way, if you're very successful. $7 million guaranteed base, and brings in $30+ million a year into his law firm. And what's his story? So his story is that he does or mid-cap companies in a certain general type of space. I'm not going to talk about what it is because I don't want to give this person away. And not only that, but does the work at half the cost of what most major firms would charge. And then gets a certain type of result. This is very simple. And this is what this person does. If you call them and you're a huge company, you want to do this, he'll refer you to someone else. If you're too small, he won't work with you. If you're not in the space, he won't work with you. So this is what he does. So what makes that such a beautiful thing? What makes it so beautiful is if you do something like this, know who to approach, you know how to do the same type of work. You know how to do the work. You have the connections in the industry to get business. You have the connections to get the work done, meaning accountants and other lawyers and service, whatever you need to do the work. You can train service partners, associates to do things a certain way. I'm just telling you how this works. And associates do things a certain way. You can be more efficient. I'm just telling you how people think about this. More efficient because you're doing the same transaction over and over again. And then, sorry about that, same transactions. You can, what else? Other businesses talk about you, similar businesses talk about you. No, I was anyway, so that's the idea. So you do that, you do the work at half the cost of what others charge, you get a certain type of client, and then all these things just fall into place. And because of that, this person is able to generate incredible amounts of business. They stand for something, people know they do a certain type of transaction. You do it for this type of company. All this stuff falls into place. Once you have this and it works, this is what the best attorneys do is they're able to position themselves in a way that people think a certain thing about them when they're working with them. So this is how you need to think too. Whoever you are, you need to think about how do I position myself? What is my story? What is my story? This person's story up here is I always wanted to be patent attorney. I got into the wrong practice area and I just was on this runaway train. I had to stop because if I didn't stop, I'd always do that. And I know I need to start from the bottom in patent law, but I'm going to do it and I'm determined to do it. And this is why I got my patent bar license when I was practicing corporate law. I'm very much interested in this. No one cares you speak three languages. Now, you might want to use that to do a certain type of transaction and use that. I've seen people that have connections with the French people, and they do all their work for the French. I know one woman that's an immigration attorney in Los Angeles and is also French. And so she works. And so because she's French, she gets these referrals from the French embassy, and other French people talk about her, and she does all French people. This is just how it works. People that are very good have this, but that's how you have to be. If you think about how are you going to position yourself in M&A, you have to figure out how you look to people like you do a certain type of work, and that's all you do, and or you're interested in. And you have to figure out what that is. You could write articles, you could give talks about it, you could do all sorts of things. But once you develop that, it's going to make you very successful. And no one does this, by the way. Most people think, oh, I'm just an MBA, I just do this and I do that. But no, you want to position yourself as someone that's unusual and able to stand out as something.